Sir, you may start.
Yeah, okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you to the fourth day and the fourth session of our journey, Maheshment, the Shiva Katha and Leadership Insights. We started our journey with knowledge and how to manage the knowledge. From there, we learned how to change and how to develop the adaptability and flexibility during the change. We also learned the true success lies in maintaining the equipoise. From there, we graduated, or rather, our presentation has graduated to the wisdom. And now, the next step is after possessing all the qualities which we need to seize the right opportunity. We should be courageous in taking the actions to seize the right opportunity. So today's session is on opportunity management with wonderful legend of Tripur Samhar, where Shiva earned the name Tripurantakai. So we will go with that legend, and we should be thanking Adi Guru and Tripurantakai for this leadership insights. Let me take you to the presentation, today's presentation. All right. As I mentioned, we will today discuss opportunity management through Shiva's legend on Tripur Samhar and Tripurantakai. So first of all, let us understand what opportunity management is all about. Opportunity management is the systematic process of identifying, assessing, and capitalizing on potential opportunities to achieve strategic goals and maximize benefits. It involves proactively recognizing favorable conditions, evaluating risk and rewards, and making informed decisions to seize growth prospects. Opportunity management is widely used in businesses, institutions, project management, sales, and strategic planning to enhance innovation, competitiveness, and efficiency. Effective opportunity management requires critical analysis, adaptability, resource optimization, and timely execution to convert potential advantages into tangible success. This is what the opportunity management is. To understand opportunity management from Shiva, we need to go through his legend of Tripur Samhar. On your screen, what you see is the wonderful acrylic color canvas painting of Puja Mudgal. And as a ritual, I start with the bowing to the great Lord of the Lords. Om Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Trambakaya Tripurantakaya Trikala Agni Kalaya Kala Agni Rudraya Nilkantaya Mrityunjaya Sarveshwaraya Sada Shivaya Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha. So with the going to Lord, we start our legend for the day. The legend of Tripur Samhar. Shiva as Tripurantaka is accredited with destroying 3 mythical cities of the Asuras. Out of 8 legends narrating Shiva's role as the destroyer of evil, the Tripur Samhar, destruction of the 3 citadel legend, related to the destruction of the 3 evil cities Tripur by Shiva. So this is how the legend goes. The demon Tarkasur had 3 offsprings named Tarkaksh, Kamlaksh, and Vidyunmali. The elder one was Tarkaksh, second one or the middle one was Kamlaksh, and the youngest one was the Vidyunmali. Now, you must be remembering in yesterday's story, we had a Tarkasur in the video what you have seen, that God prayed to Indra to ask Kamdev for the divine union of Shiva and Parvati so that they can get the very strong child who is Kartikeya to fight the battle with Tarkasur, and Kartikeya lead the army of Devas and he hunted the Tarkasur. So these 3 demons are the son or the offsprings of Tarkasur, Tarkaksh, Kamlaksh, and Vidyunmali. Now, they are very strong because they were the offspring of very mighty Asur, Tarkasur. So they were very strong. But they were not happy with that. So this demon princess performed severe penance towards the creator god Brahma and obtained the boon of immense power. What was that? Brahma, on being pleased with them, presented each one of them an aerial city revolving in the sky. The legend further state that these 3 cities or the fort, Tripur, continued to revolve in the sky for hundreds of years. As I mentioned earlier, the legends or the story differs with the different Puranas and different religious texts. In some of the legend, it is mentioned there is an elaborate there is an elaborate discussion on this story where these 3 asuras been presented with 3 citadels. One is of silver, one is of gold, and the third one is of the iron. This is what this princess demanded, and accordingly that boon was granted. And Brahmaji ordered Mai, M-A-Y-A, but Mai, we have to pronounce as Mai, the architect of Asuras, to develop these 3 cities, the beautiful cities. The cities carry everything, all the facilities within the cities. And it was done with the finest architectural marvel of Mai, the Maya. Now, these 3 cities continued to revolve in the sky for hundreds of years. In the course of revolving, the three cities would converge very rarely. It is said, the figures were also given, that once in 1,000 years they will merge or converge. The boon granted them that they would live for 1,000 years in these three invincible moving cities can only be destroyed by the arrow that could merge the three forts into one and set them to fire. So, rarest of the rare opportunity that these three cities will converge in the same line, and at that very moment, if an arrow is shot through the three cities, then they can be destructed. So this was kind of boon which made these three princes almost invincible and indestructible. So that was something which they wanted. But everyone cannot digest the power. What happened? The demons, armed with the boon, wreaked havoc on the universe. They started harassing sages, rishis, devas, everyone, because they were full of power. In some of the texts which slightly differ from this, and there is an elaborate version of that, it says that they were righteous and meritorious in the beginning, and they were devotee of Shiva. So they were living happily in these cities. But Indra got jealous about it, and then he approached Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva denied that for no reason I can't kill anyone. I cannot destroy them. They are righteous, meritorious. So Indra went to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu played a trick. He formed Purush from his mind who went to these three cities and started spreading the false religion, adharma. After receiving this adharma and the false religious preaching, all these three princes, Tarkaksh, Kamlaksh, and Vidyunmali, they changed to the villain, and they started creating, or they started spreading the havoc on all the three universe, heaven, earth, and Netherlands. But here I picked up the popular legend, so this is what it is. Now, the Asuras, who were well entrenched in their aerial cities, would mount attacks on the Devas, Rishis, and always harass them. Ultimately, the gods and sages approached Shiva and pleaded for his assistance in removing the menace. Lord Shiva agreed to help them and waited for the right opportune moment. At the end of stipulated time period, Shiva created a bow and arrow and a chariot with the various gods and goddesses and components of universe. The moment the three aerial cities converged, Shiva mounted on his chariot and moved upwards. He took out his bow and arrow and hit the converged city with a single arrow. With Brahma as the charioteer, he sped across a single arrow of fire which was created of none other than Vishnu. The cosmic arrow destroyed the three cities. After destroying the three cities, Tripurantak Shiva smeared his forehead with the three stroke of ashes, which we understand as Tripund. Now, before connecting this with the opportunity management, let me give you some spiritual significance, and also would like to brief on one particular yoga which will help everyone to remain stress-free, full of energy, and full of confidence and zeal. First of all, let us understand the spiritual significance of Tripund. All the three lines in the Tripund represent Lord Shiva's nature and character. This is the significance from the school of spirituality. The first line represents the sound O, which is called Grahapatya Agni. The first line is believed to include earth, outer soul, dharma, Agni, acting skills, sweetness, and Rigveda. It also signifies sattvic, purity and knowledge, guna. I again repeat, the first line represents the sound O, which is called Grahapatya Agni. It includes earth, outer soul, dharma, Agni, acting skill, sweetness, and Rigveda. It also signifies sattvic guna. The second line of the Tripund represents the sound U, which is called Dakshina Agni. This line is believed to include good qualities, environment, inner soul, willpower, sky, and Yajurved. It also signified Rajas Guna, the action and passion, Rajas Guna. And the third line represents the sound Ma and is called Ahvaniya Agni. This line is believed to include good qualities, heaven, God, knowledge, and Samved. It also signifies tamsic, ignorance and inertia gun. So this is the spiritual significance of all the three lines of the Tripund. Now, I will just demonstrate audio demonstration of one yoga which everyone needs to practice. And let me tell you, this yoga is a combination of yoga, pranayam, and it is very simple to do. If you could manage to do 2 times a day, once when you get up in the morning, and second before going to the bed, this will help you a lot. You can do this yoga during any time of the day, and anyone can do of any age. What is this yoga is? Simply take a sukhasana, meaning a comfortable sitting posture. Close your eyes. Try to relax yourself. Just concentrate on your breathing. Inhale and exhale. Just concentrate on your breathing for a few seconds. You will get close to your subconscious mind opening. Try to visualize Tripund in your mind. Just the picture of Tripund in your mind. And then you have to start with the first letter, that is O. So you have to rhythmically speak out the letter word A, O. How? I will tell you. Uh, Try to extend as much as you can. Be in your comfort zone. Don't worry. It will take few days to extend it. Then, now this you have to repeat it for the 3 times. The sound ought to be repeated for the 3 times. Once you are done with the then you have to concentrate on the middle word, that is oo. Ooh. Again, this sound for the 3 times. And then comes the last sound, ma. Ma. Again, this for the 3 times. Once you are through with a, oo, and ma, then comes the nad brahm. Om. You will find astonishing results. I will give you one tip. When you start with the omkar, the om word, you have to prolong the word ma, not the a, o. So immediately, om, it starts with ma. Now, this definitely has powerful results. It will give you a lot of spirit and confidence. It will relieve your stress. If you are suffering from insomnia, it will give you an ease or a sound sleep, and it will give you a lot of courage. That is very important. This particular yoga, as mentioned in the Ayurveda and even the naturopathy, this is a practicing yoga. I'm sure many must have heard about it. If not, please do practice this yoga and it will help you a lot. So, A, O, and Ma 3 times each, 3 sets, and then Om 3 sets. This will hardly take 4, 5, or 6 minutes to do so. You can do it anytime, but best results are obtained if you do this in the morning once you get up, whatever time you are getting up, and once before going to the bed. But even if you have spare time during the day on your work, and if you find such opportunity, you can even do this while sitting on the work chair or any such place in a garden or wherever you are. This certainly brings a lot of confidence. So we will now go to our opportunity management. But before that, I will show you a small video of high esteem Bharatanatyam dancer Vanashri, and this has been performed by Vanashri and her group. This is classical presentation of Tripur Samhar. Enjoy. This entire theater presentation, mixing Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi, was about the Indian mythological tales. The whole video is very long, and she depicts many tales into it. I have just taken the relevant piece out of it and have shown you that. So this was Vanashri and her troupe. Now, what is opportunity management? It is turning uncertainty into success. In the dynamic landscape of education, opportunity management is a crucial process that enables institutions to identify and harness growth opportunities, fostering academic excellence and community development. This multi-stage approach involves generating ideas, recognizing opportunities, and driving them to execution, ultimately shaping the future of learners and educators alike. Much like Lord Shiva, who seized the perfect moment to forge a bow, arrow, and chariot, aligning divine forces with precision, educational institutions must navigate uncertainty and act decisively when new opportunities emerge. Whether it is adopting innovative pedagogies, expanding research frontiers, or forging impactful collaboration, success lies in the ability to transform challenges into opportunities. In a rapidly evolving academic and technological landscape, opportunity management empowers institutions to anticipate challenges, capitalize on emerging trends, and create lasting educational value. By embedding this approach into their culture, universities and schools can stay ahead of change, fostering a generation of learners equipped to thrive in an unpredictable world. This is what Shiva teaches us with his act of Tripur Samhar. Here you see on the left side is the sandalwood carving somewhere in Mysore, and on the right side, a very ancient temple of Tripurantaka in Baligavi town of Shimoga district, Karnataka. There are many temples in India, especially in the southern part of the India, are dedicated to Tripurant. So this is very decent analogy which we need to understand. We learned about that he formed a chariot, and there is a charioteer called Brahma, and from the other cosmic elements. But let us get into that details. Shiva, the cosmic transformer, crafts a mighty chariot from Prithvi, earth, which symbolizes the stable foundation of an organization. Here we are talking about the organization. If you talk about the individual, your understanding about the truth and the broad vision which you had can be considered as the stable foundation. So earth symbolizes the stable foundation. So he crafted chariot from Prithvi, earth. Now this chariot is guided by Brahma. What is Brahma? Brahma is the embodiment of wisdom, ensuring visionary leadership. Brahma, or the wisdom, the third eye of Shiva yesterday, which we discussed. If you have a clear wisdom with all the four E's which we discussed yesterday, that could become the individual resource. So the chariot is guided by Brahma. You should be guided by the wisdom. It is pulled by four noble horses representing the Vedas, signifying dharma, ethics, and unwavering principle driven by the core values. We need to have these qualities. The wheels forged from sun and moon. This illustrates the relentless effort and discipline required to achieve goals. Mount Meru forming the bow. He took Mount Meru to forming the bow, which signify that one's tools and strategies must be unshakable as mountain, rock solid. The serpent Vasuki, serving as the bowstring, highlights the need of adaptability and flexibility in aiming for success. You need to be adaptable and flexible even to change your target. Finally, Vishnu as the arrow becomes the ultimate force of righteous action, ensuring the destruction of obstacle and the triumph of karma-driven excellence. Vishnu otherwise is known as the god preserver. Shiva is known as the god destructor, but Vishnu is the god preserver. Now here Vishnu becomes the arrow for the destruction. Very interesting analogy. What is that? It is that the destruction of obstacles and the triumph of karma-driven excellence. Vishnu gives you the fruit of your karma. So Vishnu becomes the arrow. This divine synergy teaches us that stability, wisdom, ethical foundation, diligence, resilience, adaptability, and purposeful actions are essential for organizational success. This was the analogy of Shiva's resources, what he collected. He is Lord of the Lords. He could have done it easily well all alone. But he wanted to give this preaching and learning to us that you need to have perfect resources when you are seizing the opportunity. Let us see some examples into your field, academia, and also from the corporate world. UGC's Professor of Practicing Initiative. This initiative actually has brought in the practical learning by inviting the industry experts. Few of the institutes like IIM Bangalore and IIT Madras have hired corporate leaders, scientists, and artists as faculty. Very important, very imperative. Students benefit from the real world exposure and mentorship in the emerging field. This encourages stronger industry academia collaboration. Yesterday we were talking on employable products. So this initiative makes a lot of sense. Chanakya's vision for the Mauryan Empire from the history. We all know the story of Chanakya. So what he did was he crafted Chandragupta Maurya and he strategically trained him to overthrow the Nanda dynasty. This is a long history of Chanakya. We all love this character. But he is the right example of the opportunity management. He waited for the right opportunity. Among all the Shiva's resources and triumph, the very important aspect was that his patience. He waited for the opportune moment, and that is something which is very, very important for any individual or the organization to get the success. If you strike your arrow before the opportune moment, you are likely to fail. You have to wait for the opportune moment, and at that juncture, you should be prepared to strike well. This is the classical example into the Indian corporate. We all know he waited for the opportune moment and he took all the advantages of liberalizing economy in India. He leveraged small investment, understood market demands, and created a big, big, big empire from from the yarn manufacturing to the petrochemicals to the telecom. He never hesitated entering into the field which other corporate groups used to be. That has brought the real success to Dhirubhai Ambani and Ambani Group. Industry, academia, skill development programs. Interestingly, companies like TCS, Infosys, and Wipro has partnered with the colleges for AI and data science training. Amazon Web Service Cloud Certification Program in the university was another big step. And automotive giants like Tata Motors have set up R&D labs at IIT Madras. Now, this helps students to gain industry-relevant skills before graduating, bridging the gap between theoretical knowledge and job market needs. This is again a great example into the Indian history, and country should never forget this great people. Yesterday we talked about Verghese Kurian. Another such example is of Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, who has seen the opportunity in the hybrid seeds and high yield agriculture when country was food deprived. And he brought such a huge revolution that from a food deficient nation to a surplus producer, one man can do this. Atal Innovation Mission, AIM, and Atal Tinkering Labs, ATL. These are the initiative by Niti Aayog. Again, to foster entrepreneurship and innovation among students. They have also promoted the STEM education and university for the student startups. IIT Delhi and IIT Bombay has already participated into it. Thousands of students now have access to robotics, AI, and IoT development kits. If you are watching Shark Tank or such programs, you can understand what kind of new startups are coming by the very, very young mind. This is the wonderful example converting Indian payments into the digital India and UPI revolution. This was recognized at the time of COVID and even at the time of what you call demonetization. Government recognized this opportunity and digital payments with the help of fintech firms like PhonePe, Paytm, and Google Pay capitalized on UPI, Unified Payments Interface, making India a global leader in digital transaction. That is what the figure says. This end up the today's session of opportunity management with the leadership skills depicted by Lord Shiva in destructing Tripur, the three citadel of the Asurs, and the resources what he developed is a great amount of learning for all of us. And the biggest learning is that we need to maintain a lot of patience even if we are ready with our resources to strike. So this was the opportunity management with the legend of Tripur Samhar. With this, I end up my today's session. I think we are already 7:50. So 10-minute question answer session, and then we can part.
Thank you, sir. We don't have any question in the chat box. I request all the participants to ask if you have any question or any suggestion, any feedback, any response. You may unmute yourself and ask directly to sir.
I suppose we don't have any pending questions because my left brain is little lazy and dumb. So logical thinking is a real issue to me. So I don't remember. Is there anything pending, Dr. Vikas?
No, sir.
Okay.
No pending.
So you can shoot now. Participants, you can shoot now.
Amita ma'am has written her question. Can you give an example of this in which there are fewer or no resources to capture the opportunity and make changes in their field, if possible?
Sorry, I didn't get you. There are poor. What did you say?
Can you give an example of these in which there are fewer or no resources to capture the opportunity and make changes in their field?
I think the classical example is the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. From nowhere, he emerged to be the leader of the party, and he got elected with an epical mandate from this country, not for the one time, but for the three times. He could be the classical example of what you are asking.
Any other question from anybody?
Sir, this is my one question from Parik sir. How you got the energy and power to analyze all these? Because you are related from the any your business, and you are just what you have spoke is like expert teacher.
Okay.
This all, and you have felt about the Shiva so long, about not from one side but from the all side, either some temple from the Karnataka and some temple from the other side. That's how is this have possible to you, sir?
I think your question has the answer, sir. Lord Mahadev, who helped me
Yes.
a lot. To be honest, let me share with you, when I started making this presentation, so the only intention was that I wanted to explain this to the students and create a new dimension for understanding our legends or the rich history, and connect with the science so that they can have a different perspective. Now, when I delivered this first lecture to the student, that was my trial, because I am a brand man. At any given point of time during the 24 hours, if you just connect me to the meet and say you start talking on branding, I can talk for at least 6 hours at a
Oh,
stretch on the branding and advertising. But this was a novel experience for me also. And during the journey, when I took the first lecture, I knew that student may not connect with this because I was talking about mythology and all that. But one student came up and said, Sir, if not anything else, at least now my dimension has changed to look at the Shiv Lingam or going to the Shiv temple. Thank you for that. Now, this has given me the all energy that this will work. And then subsequently, I developed a version for the teachers and the professionals. If I talk to the professionals, I mean managers or the sales team audience, then of course the examples and all these things will differ. So I developed then different versions, and this is also my second or third experience delivering the uh, this lecture to the very elite audience. I was in fact scared, to be honest, when Vikas sir given me this opportunity. I was scared that I would be talking to the doctors. Majority are doctors, and I am the only compounder, because I barely made to do my graduation, that too in a very rotten institute, and never attended any classes in my life. So this was the scene. But Mahadev helped me a lot, sir, and he had given me this energy and courage to speak in front of you all.
Sir, one more thing.
Yeah, please.
सर, महादेव से आप जुड़े कैसे? फंडामेंटली, मतलब बहुत सीधी सी चीज है। बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी होती हैं कि जुड़ने का कारण कोई ना कोई एक घटना होती है।
अग्रीड सर, अग्रीड। मेरे साथ भी थी।
जी, यस सर, सर
मेरे साथ भी ऐसी घटना घटी। I'm born and brought up in a very traditional Jain sect, which is known as Thanakwasi Jain sect. We are non-believer of the any idols or the murti or any rituals. And somehow I was very different because I never used to believe in any god or any such thing in my life. But I faced one crisis in my work career, and somehow I was pulled towards the Somnath. I don't know what was happening with me, but I was pulled. See, this is beyond science, which we are talking about. But as I mentioned earlier also, that everything is not E is equal to mc square. So there is always something beyond the science. And I was pulled towards the Somnath. Somnath, because it is very near to my geography. I stay in Gujarat, Rajkot. It's 4 hours journey to Somnath. I earlier visited Somnath, but was the historical or a tourist spot kind of a thing. There was never such pulling. But this incident made me to be there at the Somnath. And with grace of God, I don't know what happened with me, but everything, every problem turned into the opportunity, and I got a great amount of success out of the turmoil. And this has led me to the, the worshipping of Shiva. As I mentioned, I am born and brought up in a Jain sect, which we are non-believer of any idols or the God worshipping in that fashion. So, but then subsequently my journey started on the spiritual path, and many more things have come on the journey.
Yes, sir. I got the answer.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Writing that it was a noble experience for us too, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Vikas.
Anybody else with any sort of comment, feedback, question? We have 4 minutes.
No questions scare me sometime. I don't know whether people have not enjoyed or...
No, sir. No questions could also mean that we enjoyed it so much that everything has just has been placed in our mind beautifully.
Okay, great.
And we are just digesting the beautiful Sanatan Dharma that we have, and yet unexplored.
Thank you. Thank you, Rasha.
Fine. Then we can end this session if there is no question.
Surely. We will meet tomorrow, same time. Until then, good night. Shubhratri.
Thank you, sir.